Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the 2026 ANA Candidates Forum. My name is Dr. Faye Shangole. I am the chair of the nominating committee, and I am pleased and honored to serve as the moderator for this event. Tonight's session is being recorded and will be shared with ANA Illinois members. The recording gives members who are unable to attend an opportunity to hear directly from each candidate before voting. So each candidate is going to have 3 to 5 minutes to share their reasons for running, their goals, and other information relevant to their candidacy. We're going to present the candidates in order, in alphabetical order by last name within each position. And then I'll be able to provide a little bit of transition as we go from one candidate to the next. We're going to start with ANA membership, assembly, rep, and alternate. One representative will be elected as well as one alternate. So we're going to begin with the candidates for that. And our first candidate is Amanda Oliver.
Well, hello everyone. Nice to meet you all and see you all on this fabulous Wednesday. My name is Amanda Oliver. I am running for membership assembly representative for the next year. Currently, I am the American Nurses Association secretary at the national level, and I am the Illinois Nurses Foundation president. And my goal in running for the membership assembly rep is that I will be done with my ANA position at the end of this calendar year. And I feel that I am positioned well to be able to represent Illinois in being very intimately involved in all of the information and presentations that go along with membership assembly for the last 8 years. And with all of that information, background, and experience that I have with membership assembly, I know that I will be able to represent Illinois and be able to bring the voice of Illinois nurses to all the forums in which we are able to bring our position for the business of the membership assembly of the American Nurses Association. I have a very long history in advocacy, in attendance of membership assembly and other nursing events throughout the state and across the country, as well as public speaking and working with students and mentoring them through the Student Nurses Association of Illinois. So I would appreciate your vote for membership assembly representative appointed by ANA Illinois, and happy to answer questions. I don't know if that's allowed now or if there are questions later, but you can also contact me with any of my contact information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. Our next candidate is Mary Beth Sheehy. Mary Beth on?
Yep, that's me. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Beth Sheehy, and I'm honored to be a candidate for ANA Membership Assembly Representative. I've spent the past 18 years in nursing and healthcare, and I currently practice as a critical care and palliative care advanced practice nurse, educator, preceptor, and advocate. I hold a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree, which has prepared me to evaluate evidence, understand complex healthcare systems, and translate clinical and policy issues into practical action. In my professional roles, I see how decisions at the organizational, state, and national levels directly affect nurses and patients. My commitment to nursing advocacy has grown through sustained involvement with both ANA Illinois and the Illinois Society for Advanced Practice Nursing. For the past 6 years, I have served on the ISAPN Government Relations Committee and have participated in multiple joint ANA Illinois and ISAPN legislative action days. Through that work, I've learned how to present complex nursing issues clearly, build relationships with policymakers, and advocate effectively on behalf of the profession. My clinical experience has also affected the way I communicate. In critical care and palliative care, I regularly speak with patients, families, and interdisciplinary teams during high stakes and emotionally difficult situations. That work requires careful listening, clear explanations, sensitivity, and the ability to navigate disagreement. It has taught me how to bring people together around difficult decisions, which is directly relevant to representing Illinois nurses within ANA Membership Assembly. My involvement with ANA Illinois has further prepared me for that leadership. I recently completed the Nurses Running for Elected Office Training Academy. That experience helped me better understand how nurses can translate clinical expertise into public leadership, communication with diverse audiences, and prepare for elected service. I was also recently selected to represent Illinois in ANA's American Nurses Advocacy Institute. Through ANA, I will continue to develop my skills in policy, coalition building, and professional advocacy. The ANA Membership Assembly gives State Nurses Association a voice in shaping the priorities and direction of the American Nurse Association. That is not a responsibility that I will take lightly. If nurses are not at the table, they will be on the menu. I would seek input from ANA Illinois members, carefully review the issues before Assembly, communicate Illinois' priorities clearly, and report back to our membership. Illinois nurses work across many different settings, including hospitals, clinics, long-term care, public health, and advanced practice. They serve urban, suburban, and rural communities. Their experiences may differ, but they all deserve thoughtful, prepared, and credible representation. If elected, I would bring doctoral preparation, clinical experience, policy engagement, communication skills, and a demonstrated commitment to nursing advocacy. I would be grateful for the opportunity to represent Illinois and ensure that the voices of Illinois nurses are heard at the national level. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you so much, Mary Beth. Our final candidate for, I don't see Tracy on. So we might need to come back to. Okay. All right, Bridget is, okay. Bridget's baby is no longer speaking to us, so we should be able to go forward. No Tracy on the line. Well, we'll come back to that candidate if she logs on later, because I didn't get an email that she wasn't going to be here this evening. Okay, so our next position is that on the nominating committee, of which I'm currently the chair. It's the most fabulous area to be on. Hint, hint. 3 members will be selected. We're going to hear from the candidates for the nominating committee. Our first candidate is Ty Miller. Do we have Ty Miller on the line? No? Okay. Next is Joe Muller. There you go.
So, as she said, I'm Joe Muller. I'm very excited about the opportunity to even be considered for the ANA Illinois Nominating Committee, and I appreciate your time taking a few minutes to get to know me. Throughout my career, worn many hats. I am an FNP, a PMHNP, nursing faculty. I practice clinically, and I'm the program director for a graduate nursing program. But the one thing is across all these roles that has really energized me is having the opportunity to help nurses grow and recognize opportunities that they may not have seen for themselves or may not have thought of themselves in. If elected, I would relish the opportunity to be part of nurses from across Illinois pursuing engagement and leadership opportunities. I believe that strong representative leadership makes our organization and our profession stronger. I also want nurses at every stage of their career to know that they have something valuable to contribute, whether they're just in the beginning of their career or they have decades of experience in gray hair that you can Zoom filter out. No matter what, your voice matters and there's a place for you to serve. So having the opportunity to serve on the nominating committee would be an opportunity for me to give back to a profession that has given me so very much and contributing to the strength and success of ANA Illinois. So really, thank you for your time. Thank you for your commitment to nursing and for your support of ANA Illinois. And I know that the members of our association will be well served by whomever is elected, but I would be truly honored to vote and have the opportunity to serve the organization and its members.
Thank you, Joe.
Pick me. Like,
Next, we're going to hear from Josie Schumacher. Is Josie on?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, go ahead.
Hello, good evening. My name is Josie Schumacher. I am honored to be considered for two positions, Director of ANA Illinois and the Nominating Committee. I'm seeking these roles because I believe in being involved. I believe nursing is not only a profession, but it is a powerful voice for our patients, our families, and our communities in the future of healthcare. Nurses work in every setting. As mentioned before, we're in all specialties. We understand both the needs of our patients that we serve, but also the realities of delivering that care. It is essential that the nurses have a strong, unified voice in those decisions that will impact not only our profession, but our patients as well. ANA Illinois, I've been a part of the organization for a while, and I've seen how it advocates for not, a single sector of nurses. It advocates for all nurses. It provides that voice for nurses across those specialties, those practice settings, and those stages in their career. Also mentioned before, this commitment would strongly align with my personal values. I believe every nurse should feel represented and supported and empowered to participate in shaping the future of our careers. Um, One of the most important responsibilities of ANA Illinois is protecting that practice of nursing. Nursing priorities should be incorporated into our legal and regulatory decisions because those decisions directly affect our patient safety, our quality of care, and the work we do every day. ANA Illinois understands this, as I've seen with previous work with the organization. The oversight of the scope of practice, the appropriate use of unlicensed personnel, and the impact on managed care. As nurses, I think we must actively remain engaged in these conversations. We should ensure that those decisions remain informed and we should be at the table. Nursing expertise is imperative for the outcomes of those care decisions. If elected, I would like to support ANA in several different ways. I love getting nurses engaged. I'm currently a clinical nurse manager. I operate at a level one trauma center for nurses. So engagement is everything from new nurses to novice nurses to experienced nurses. Specialties I've served in is long-term care and acute care. Advocating, I'm on the political action committee currently for ANA Illinois. So I love getting to see how we can be involved in those legislative and regulatory issues and how that will impact the nursing practice. Protecting those professional standards is important, and just the collaboration. I love seeing how we can work together with the different specialties, with the different organizations, different healthcare leaders, legislators, and have a similar outcome. Promoting the professional development is important. As mentioned before, education, making sure we get those students involved is important. We've seen that on those political action days, how many student nurses show up for that. So I think that's important to do as well. Serving as a director or on the nominating committee would align with my goals as a nursing professional. I would believe that the leadership is not simply about holding that position, but getting to build that trust, representing the nursing career. And I am passionate about the continuum of care and strengthening our ability as nurses to provide safe and collaborative care to provide to those patients. One thing I've learned is that nursing is stronger when we stand together. So I respectfully ask for your support, your vote as a director or the nominating committee for ANA Illinois. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Josie. Our final candidate is Taylor Stonecipher. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. That was actually really good. It's a hard one, I know. As she said, I am Taylor Stonecipher. Just a little bit about me. This would be my first time running for a position on a state board. I have been a nurse for little over 16 years, and I currently serve as an educator for one of our local universities, School of Nursing. I've been an instructor for almost 11 years. It's been a while. I as an educator, I've served on our several positions within my university. Specifically, I was counselor for our local Sigma chapter. So I identified individuals for membership to Sigma. I also served on our membership committee for Sigma as well. I chose to run for the nominating committee because specifically it aligns with my commitments for advancing the nursing profession and supporting strong leadership. Just with my clinical experience and my current role as an educator, I can bring a practical insight as well as an understanding of how to mentor future nurse leaders. I want to, I Throughout my teaching, I do strive to integrate leadership development into my teaching. I put a strong emphasis on clinical judgment, accountability, communication, just to prepare them for various healthcare settings. So, as a member of the nominating committee, I think I would help bring a perspective that focuses on both clinical practice as well as academic practice. I know the competencies needed for today's nurse leaders, and I feel that I could help identify candidates who demonstrate integrity, commitment to evidence-based practice, commitment to the profession of nursing in general. My experience with nursing students, I am able to recognize leadership characteristics. I know how to help support professional growth. I'm also very committed to diversity and inclusion, and I want to make sure that the nurse leaders that we have reflect the communities that we serve. Overall, I'm just committed. I want to see more of my students that I teach become active in the profession, not just in going to work and doing their job, but helping grow nursing as a profession. And yeah, I would be very excited for the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Our next position is director. 2 directors will be elected. Our first candidate will be Claudia Joe.
Hi, good evening. My name is, can everyone hear me? All right, perfect. My name is Claudia Cho, and I've been a nurse for 7 years, and I'm honored to be here as a candidate as an ANA Illinois director. I currently serve as faculty at UIC College of Nursing and practice as a family nurse practitioner here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm running for ANA Illinois director because I've dedicated my career advocating for nurses, and I believe it's time to bring that same passion to the strategic leadership of our organization here at ANA Illinois. I stand before you today inspired by the many nurses I had the privilege of connecting with over the past year, listening to their stories, learning about their vision for our profession, and also understanding the challenges we all face. I also witnessed the profound impact we all have in our communities through our courage and willingness to show up and remain visible. Right now, there's so much to protect within nursing, and I believe ANA Illinois and the incredible nurses who make up this community are the very force our profession needs in this moment. As director, I bring this vision to this role and unique perspective of someone who works every day with underserved patient population while also teaching the next generation of nurses. These roles allow me to bridge the gap between the bedside, the classroom, and the boardroom in nursing. I also have experience in leadership as elected membership assembly rep for ANA Illinois, which requires me to be well informed of policies and bylaws affecting nurses here in this country and also in Illinois. In every room I enter, my desire is to always represent nurses as the credible voice, and my leadership and decision makings are grounded in that same sentiment, as reflected in my work having led Quality Improvement Project here at the heart of Chicago for the youth patient population, as well as my ongoing advocacy for policies that secure funding for nurses. As director, my goal is to increase engagement by bringing in more nurses to ANA Illinois and to unify our voices. I would be honored to serve as your director and bring these experiences to best support all of the members across Illinois. I like to close with a quote by Margaret Mead I came across the other day that as I was preparing my speech that I believe reflects our nursing community here in ANA Illinois very well. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you, everyone, for your time and your dedication, and also all that you do. And I would like to respectfully ask for your vote on July 31st. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Next up is Ashley Frederick.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ashley Frederick. I am a nurse educator and healthcare quality and patient safety professional. My experience spans nursing education as well, from clinical practice, quality improvement, patient safety leadership, development, and rural healthcare. I've been a nurse for about 17 years. I spent 10 years working in a small rural community hospital, and then 2 years working for the Illinois Health and Hospital Association. Within that role, one of my favorite aspects was policy and advocacy. And so I was able to review healthcare bills and Senate bills that would come across affecting nurses in the state or that could affect them. And so that is really where I learned that, wow, this is important and nurses need to have a voice at the table. I am running for director because I want ANA Illinois to remain relevant, responsive, and accessible to nurses across every region, specialty, career stage, and practice setting. And that includes rural healthcare. I would bring a collaborative, evidence-based, and action-oriented approach to the board with a commitment to listening, strengthening member engagement, and developing future leaders. Also considering advancing patient safety and workforce well-being. I really want to focus on ensuring that rural health and underrepresented nurses have a meaningful voice at the table as well. So I would be honored to serve and help every Illinois nurse see a place for themselves within ANA Illinois. So thank you, and I would appreciate your vote as well.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Next was scheduled to be Shannon Keith, but I don't see her on the call. No, Shannon, I just want to make sure. Okay. Our next person for the role on this list is Josie Schumacher, which you already heard from her. So we can skip her. We don't have to have her talk again. But keep her in mind when you're voting for director as well. Next, we'll hear from Angela Villarreal.
Good evening. My name is Angela Villarreal, and I'm honored to be a candidate for the director role for the ANA Illinois. I've been a nurse for more than 18 years, and I've had the privilege to serve in a variety of roles. From the beginning of my career in the step-down ICU at the bedside to outpatient nursing leadership, in home care, and currently leading inpatient nursing teams as a nurse leader. This variety has given me a unique perspective of the challenges facing nursing in many practice environments. Throughout my career, one thing has not changed: my passion for nursing practice and advancing our profession. I have earned my Master's of Science in Nursing from Walden with a postmaster's certification in leadership and management and became board certified as a nurse executive. Beyond my role within my organization, I've remained committed to serving nursing, using my voice, and serving my community. I currently serve on several committees, one being the Legislative Committee for the ANA of Illinois and co-chair for the Illinois Nurses Foundation, the Fund Development Committee. Most recently this past year, I'm honored to serve as the president for my local county board of health, and I oversee the Finance Committee and Personnel Committee. These experiences have strengthened my understanding of the importance of advocacy, program expansion, and governance. This has broadened my perspective on the challenges communities and nursing are facing at the local, state, and national level. These experiences have further demonstrated the importance of nurses having a seat at the table. As a director, my goal would be to ensure nursing voices are heard and represented. Every nurse has a unique perspective, whether they work at the bedside, in home care, in leadership, education, or in our community. It is important to advocate for the opportunities facing our nursing practice today, such as safety in the workforce, safe staffing, and practice advancements. Together with you, we can overcome these opportunities and ensure all voices are represented. It would be a privilege and an honor to serve the nursing profession in this role as the director for ANA Illinois. I respectfully ask for your vote and the opportunity to serve and represent you. Thank you for your trust and support.
Thank you, Angela. Our final candidate is Sarah Williamson. Is Sarah logged on? Okay. We're going to move on next to the role of director, recent graduate. So one director who has been licensed for 5 years or less will be elected for this role. Our candidates include Miranda Maxson. Miranda?
Hello, everybody. My name is Miranda Matheson, but I usually just get called Mo. I became a registered nurse 5 years ago during the pandemic. I have been a CNA, or I had been a CNA for 5 years prior to becoming a nurse. So I've always really loved healthcare and the healthcare profession. My entire family is nurses. So there was no doubt that I was going to be a nurse. But in my 5 years of nursing, I have realized that nursing was not what I expected it to be. And I think that new graduates bring that perspective naturally. I also believe that recent graduating nurses and students have this interesting feeling towards nursing, that they're very hopeful, they're very ready to make change. And I do believe that they want to be aware of the issues that surround their profession, but I think that sometimes it is hard as a new graduate to get involved in things like ANA and other committees and being aware of what's going on. I served on the ANA Illinois Political Action Committee for 2 years and had the privilege of going to the Capitol to firsthand hear about these issues. And since then, I've kind of been in love with governance and learning about what's going on in our organizations, learning about what's going on in the law that then trickles down and affects our practice. My goal is to make ANA feel accessible and welcoming and relevant to every new nurse and also nursing students. I am currently the nursing educator at Iroquois Memorial Hospital, but I do begin a new adventure at the beginning of next month as a nursing professor at my alma mater, Olivet Nazarene University. Since graduating, I am kind of in love with school. So I got my Master's of Science in Nursing Education and my Master's of Business Administration with a focus of healthcare. I am going to be teaching leadership and ethics, which are two of my favorite topics. I believe that leadership isn't about having all of the answers or knowing what to do, but it's more about listening and serving the people that you represent and making sure that others have that opportunity to succeed. So I would be incredibly honored to have your vote to serve as the recent graduate director, and I appreciate your support.
Dr. Fay, you're on mute.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Miranda. Our next candidate is Liliana Tres Palacios. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Thank you. That just rolled. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm currently in Denver. I am attending the National Association of Hispanic Nurses annual convention. So I'm here. Yay. So let me introduce myself a little bit and then I'll tell you why I'm running for this. So my name is Liliana Tres Palacios, and thank you for taking the time to get to know me. I am a proud Colombian immigrant. I'm a registered nurse and a proud Herzing University graduate. It is hard to believe that just 2 years ago, I graduated from nursing school. And today I'm here and super honored to be in front of you as a candidate for director with ANA Illinois. My journey to nursing has been anything but conventional, right? Before becoming a nurse, I built a career in aviation for 27 years and counting. And I currently serve as a customer care coordinator for American Airlines, right? I am the president of the Abilities teen member resource group. And with this, I've had the opportunity to lead accessibility initiatives. I've been able to build partnerships with community organizations and advocate for travelers with disabilities to make the travel more accessible and inclusive. So I'm really outside of the clinical setting. I meet people where they live. I also work as a surgical coordinator for an ophthalmology practice where I help guide patients through their surgical journey and then continue to grow professionally as a nurse. Outside of my professional roles, leadership and service have become my passion. I currently serve as the national co-chair for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for the National Association of Hispanic Nurses, NAN. I am also a director for the Latinas in Nursing nonprofit. And again, I am the president of the TMRG for American Airlines. I am also a Brain Health Equity Fellow, and this year I am one of the mentors for the 2026 cohort. I was also honored to be selected as the non-emerging leader in 2025, and I'm a Sigma Global Advocacy Scholar as well. So all of this has given me the experience and has strengthened my commitment to advocacy, mentorship, and leadership. One of my projects that I'm very proud of is called Fuel to Flourish. It was a grant funded community health initiative that I created from the ground up. I wrote the grant, I secured the funding, and I designed a program and I led the implementation in District 75 in Mundelein. So now I'm prepping to getting ready to get a publication so that other communities are able to learn from it and adapt it into their communities. I am also a proud contributing author for the book Latinas in Nursing Volume 2. So this is a book that shares stories, journeys, and voices of Latino nurses across the country in hopes to share, our stories in hopes that someone else, especially students and aspiring nurses, they can see that the career in nursing is possible for them as well and that their story matters. And why am I running? Because I believe that leadership is not about reaching a destination, it's about creating opportunities for others along the way. Just 2 years ago, I was just a student, right? And today I'm asking for the opportunity to serve. My journey has shown me that what can happen when mentors invest in you, when organizations open the doors, and when you have the courage to say yes to opportunities before you feel completely ready. Through my nursing career, I've been deeply involved with NAN, where I've had opportunities to grow as a leader, as a speaker, as a mentor, and as an advocate. So I want to bring those experiences into ANA, right? If elected, one of my priorities will be strengthening that transition from a student to professional nurse. We do a wonderful job engaging the students, but after graduation, early career nurses lose that connection. So I want to help create a stronger bridge through mentorship, leadership development, networking, volunteer opportunities, and meaningful ways to stay involved with ANA Illinois from the very beginning of their careers. I also want to bring a perspective of diverse voices, experiences, and career paths. Our profession is stronger because of the people in it. And I believe that every nurse deserves to feel heard, to be represented, and empowered to contribute. So again, most importantly, I don't believe that leadership means having all the answers, but it means listening, staying curious, being willing to learn, and working together to find solutions that move our profession forward. So I will always bring that mindset into this role. And so I am hoping that, and I would be very honored to get your vote. Again, I hope to create those opportunities for others and help ensure that ANA Illinois continues to be the place where nurses feel connected, where they feel supported and inspired throughout their careers. Again, my journey from aviation to nursing, from new graduate to national leadership has taught me that leadership doesn't have one path. And sometimes it just takes one person opening the door of believing in your potential. So if I'm elected, I hope to be that person for someone else. So thank you so much for your consideration, for the opportunity to earn your support. And I would truly be honored to serve as your director. Thank you.
Thank you, Liliana. Our final candidate for this role is Kelly Watts.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm honored to be a candidate for ANA Illinois Recent Graduate Director. Before becoming a nurse, I've been a nurse for 4.5 years now. I've worked as an electrical engineering consultant for almost 12 years, where I developed skills in problem solving, collaboration, and leadership. While I value that work, I felt called to a profession where I could make more of a direct impact on people's lives, which ultimately led me to nursing. Since then, I've worked in emergency medicine, behavioral health, education, and leadership. Much of my career has been spent serving patients in Chicago's safety net healthcare system, where I've seen both the resilience of nurses and the challenges they face every day. I've worked short-staffed. I've seen nurses skip breaks to care for their patients. I've watched nurses overcome obstacles, advocate for patient safety, and continue to show up with compassion even on our hardest days. Through those experiences, I've learned that nurses are incredibly resilient, but resilience should never mean accepting the status quo. We deserve safe workplaces. We deserve support. We deserve to have our voices heard. I am currently pursuing my psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner degree. And in both practicing as a nurse and a graduate student, I understand the challenges many nurses face balancing work, family, education, and professional growth. If elected, I will focus on supporting professional development, encouraging leadership opportunities, promoting nurse well-being, and helping newer nurses find their voices. Because some of the best solutions to healthcare's biggest challenges don't come from boardrooms, they come from nurses at the bedside. I am not running because I have all the answers. I am running because I care deeply about nursing, believe in advocacy, and I am committed to listening, learning, and serving. Because at the end of the day, this campaign isn't about me. It's about every nurse who have worked short-staffed, every nurse who have ever felt unheard, every nurse who believes we can build something better together. Thank you for your time, your support, your dedication to nursing. It would be an honor to serve as your ANA Illinois recent graduate director. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everybody's passion has just been gingering me up. I'm just like, hey, you're not doing enough. These ladies are killing it. Thank you all so far. Our next position is that of treasurer. One treasurer will be elected. Our first candidate is Mireya Flores. Is Mireya on the line? No, let me just write that down. I'll keep track of everybody. Next, we'll hear from, well, not next. Next candidate is Anna Lopez. Is Anna on the line? Anna Lopez? Okay. Our final candidate for consideration is Dawn Volas.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yep, can you confirm you hear me okay? Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here with all of you tonight. As stated, my name is Dr. Dawn Vollers, and I am running for treasurer of ANA Illinois. And before I go any further, though, I really want to echo what we just heard. Your stories are very inspiring, and I feel grateful to be amongst all of you and feel like our profession is in really good hands, regardless of the outcomes of the elections. But I also want to thank ANA Illinois for hosting this event. It's a really unique opportunity that I haven't heard much happening in other states, so bravo. And then also I want to just recognize all of you who've chosen to run. It's very meaningful to put your name in the ring. To be considered in these kinds of volunteer positions. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your willingness to do that. I know I feel better practicing and working and receiving care in Illinois, knowing all of you are so passionate about the work you do. And then I want to also thank the ANA Illinois members who will come to vote in this election, because it's incredibly important that we have an opportunity to hear your voice and what you are looking for in the next round of leaders for ANA Illinois. So with that, and the remaining time I have, I just wanted to share a little bit of my story and why I'm excited to potentially serve as the next ANA Illinois treasurer. So this July, where we are right now, marks my 30th year as a professional RN. And over the past 3 decades, I've had the privilege of caring for patients, caring for families and communities, while also supporting nurses through all stages of their careers. I've also remained committed to lifelong learning through professional practice, as well as earning academic degrees to ensure that I am where I need to be to stay relevant in both my practice as a clinician, as well as an educator and a leader. So with all of that, nursing has provided me, as you can imagine, over 30 years with countless opportunities to learn, grow, and lead. And because of that, that is why I feel a deep responsibility to continue giving back through volunteer service. So just a little bit about some of the positions that I've held. My professional journey has included serving as a director of departments such as nursing, practice, and professional development across various states around the country for very small rural hospitals and health systems, as well as extremely large health systems that cross numerous states. And I've served in these kinds of roles for the last 15 years. And then I also serve currently as nursing faculty for programs both in and outside of Illinois. And what I really love about this is it just allows me to continue the work that I've done for so long in industry as director of nursing practice and professional development, where I get to continue to prepare the next generation of nurses to lead and thrive in an increasingly complex healthcare environment. So as well as today, I meant to say I serve currently as a treasurer for the Illinois Nurses Foundation and serve as a board of director for the INF as well. And I've also served as past chairs of several national and international professional nursing organizations. The last little bit about me that I want to share that I think is relevant to why you're here today to listen to what I have to share is I've really been lucky to complete a fellowship in nursing economics, as well as a separate one in nursing innovation. And these fellowships have allowed me to strengthen my understanding of financial stewardship, workforce sustainability, emerging technologies, and leading complex change, both in a variety, I would say, of practice environments. To Liliana's point, nursing is everywhere. And so how can we make sure that we're representing all nurses in Illinois? So with these experiences, it's allowed me to think strategically, which is something that I really enjoy doing, evaluate long-term organizational value, and identify opportunities that help nursing organizations remain resilient, innovative, and sustainable. Somebody had mentioned, it might have been Mo, about how important it is for nurses to be resilient. I agree, and I think that it is essential that organizations also are resilient and build the infrastructure to allow for change to happen and not be burdened on the back of individuals, but how the organization helps those thrive within the changes that are coming. And so I want to just go a little bit more into what about me personally brings me to the treasurer role besides the roles that I have embodied. I see the treasurer position as a leadership role that helps ensure ANA Illinois has the resources, stability, and strategic focus necessary to advocate for nurses and strengthen professional practice while developing future leaders. So much of what you all have already said, and making sure really that we have the opportunity to influence healthcare policy throughout our state. I'll say the values that guide me in my leadership as it relates to the treasurer and all the work that I do in nursing are courage, kindness, a love of learning, and appreciation of beauty, which may not make a whole lot of sense on how it applies to nursing, but just come with me and I'll try to demonstrate for you. So for me, courage means maintaining integrity, asking difficult questions when necessary, and making decisions that support the long-term interests of nurses and the profession in Illinois. Kindness reminds me that behind every decision are nurses, patients, families, and communities whose lives are affected by our work. My love of learning keeps me curious, adaptable, and focused on understanding the challenges and opportunities facing our profession. And then my appreciation of beauty is reflected in creating clarity, transparency, and alignment between resources, values, and purpose. So if elected, my goals as treasurer would be straightforward: to help ensure that ANA Illinois has the financial strength, strategic flexibility, and operational stability needed to achieve its mission and advance its goals on behalf of Illinois' nurses. That means helping ANA Illinois amplify the voice and visibility of nurses through advocacy, public leadership, communications, policy, engagement, advocacy, and so on. So if elected treasurer, that same commitment will guide my service to ANA Illinois. I will approach every discussion, every decision, and every financial investment with these questions in mind. How does this help nurses? How does it strengthen our profession? And how does it help us create a better future for the people we serve? So in closing, I wanted to just share with you one of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett, who is well positioned in the finance and economic world, if you're not familiar with him. And he says, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. I believe that quote perfectly reflects both nursing and leadership. 30 years ago, nurses invested in me through mentorship, education, advocacy, and leadership. And those investments helped shape the nurse, educator, and leader I am today. And now I have the opportunity to help make similar investments in the future of nursing by serving as the next ANA Illinois treasurer. The decisions we make today are not simply about budgets, they are investments in future nurse leaders, educators, advocates, and innovators. And through careful and thoughtful stewardship, ANA Illinois can continue to be a powerful voice for nurses and a force for positive change across our state and beyond. So thank you for your consideration and for your service to nursing in Illinois. It would be both a privilege and an honor to serve as your ANA Illinois treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. Our last candidate for consideration is that of vice president. We're going to only have one vice president, and our person for the evening is Lovey Reynolds.
Thanks, Dr. Faye. You're the sweetest. Hi, everybody. I think I know most of you, so I'm really excited. We have awesome candidates this year. I'm super excited to see everybody's name on the list, and I'm so glad to hear from everybody. So thank you to Dr. Faye, nominating committee. It's wonderful to see everyone. Thank you to ANA Illinois for having me this evening. And thank you all for taking the time to meet each other for this year's election. My name is Lovey Reynolds, and I am honored to be a candidate for Vice President of ANA Illinois. Oh, excuse me. I've been a nurse for 20 years. I do quite a bit of busy work here in Illinois or in Chicago. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I work in a pediatric practice. I'm a tenured assistant professor of nursing in Chicago. I'm a nurse scientist. I love community work. I'm involved in several professional nursing organizations, but my most important role is a proud mom of 3 daughters. So if you hear them, they may be in and out trying to see why I'm talking so loud and who am I talking to. So don't mind. It's almost bedtime, so hopefully they're getting ready for it. So I've had the privilege of working with nurses at every stage of their journey. So I absolutely love being in the classroom with my nursing students. I've also mentored and precepted some nursing graduates moving on to their graduate degrees. And I've also worked with all of you, many of you, the experienced nurses, the nurse leaders in the ANA Illinois space, research space, policy space, really as many committees that I can get into, I'm a part of. I have to say that one truth has remained constant is that nurses want to make a difference. We want to make a difference. And nurses thrive when we have a community that supports, inspires, and empowers us to lead. And as an educator, I often tell my students that the community is an extension of the classroom. Learning doesn't just stop when class ends. And nursing doesn't just stop when we leave our workplace. Every neighborhood, every school, every health fair, every legislative office, every conversation with patients, family, medical team, that's an opportunity to improve health and strengthen our profession. And I believe ANA Illinois serves that same purpose. So ANA Illinois is an extension of our nursing practice. It's a place where nurses from every specialty, every stage in their careers, every corner of Illinois come together to learn from one another, advocate collectively, and shape the future of nursing. Through my service on ANA Illinois Program Planning Committee, Nominating Committee, the Board of Directors of the Filipino Nurses Association of Illinois, I just joined the editorial committee for the Illinois Nurses Foundation. I've been a part of the National Advisory Committee for National ANA and SAMHSA. I joined the Health Policy Committee for the National Association of Pediatric Nurse Practitioners, and I'm also the founder of the Alliance of Nursing Innovation, Education, and Advocacy. One exciting event or activity that I'll be doing in October is I'm headed to the United Nations in Switzerland to participate in the UN's Women's Leadership for Peace, where I'll join women around the globe focusing on women's leadership in peace building, conflict prevention, and crisis response. And so I've learned that leadership is not about knowing everything. It's about working together, meeting people, building relationships, creating opportunities, helping others recognize the power of their own voice. And I would be so proud to represent Illinois nurses, whether it be in Springfield, DC, professional organizations, the UN, community settings, and I'm really committed to bringing forward the concerns and fighting for the priorities of nurses across our state. And I believe that nurses deserve a strong voice in legislation, leadership, advocacy, and I really would be honored to represent our profession wherever that voice is needed. If elected Vice President, I will work to strengthen member engagement, support leadership development, and create more opportunities for nurses to connect across settings, and also support the ANA Illinois Board. I want every member, from nursing students to seasoned nurses, to know that ANA Illinois is a place where they belong, where their voice matters, and where they can contribute meaningfully to our profession. The future of nursing will not be shaped by one leader. It's shaped by all of us working together. If you choose to support me, you'll be choosing a leader who listens first, collaborates often, and always puts our members at the center of every decision. I'll work to ensure that nurses across Illinois, regardless of specialty, practice setting, career stage, feels represented, connected, and empowered. And I'm ready to serve, to advocate, and be that strong voice for you. I began by sharing a belief that has guided me through my career, and all of my students have heard this, that community is an extension of the classroom, and ANA Illinois, as an extension of our nursing family, will advocate for all, support each other, and lead together. It would be an honor to serve as your next Vice President of ANA Illinois. My goals: connect all of us together, work together, develop our nurse leaders, and represent nursing leaders. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your dedication to advancing nursing in Illinois. I would be honored to earn your vote. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Lovey. That brings us to the end of our candidates discussing their whys and sharing a little bit about themselves. I'm going to share a little bit about the election details so that everybody is on board with that. Election ballots are going to be distributed to eligible ANA Illinois members by mail. Voting will be open from July 31st through August 14th. July 31st through August 14th. So that gives you roughly 15 days to cast your vote. Every single candidate on this forum is allowed to put together additional flyers or information to share in your social media, LinkedIn, so that, beyond this video, people can get to know about you, and you can drum up your own votes. I mean, I know this is a volunteer position, but it is also a political position. So if you have friends who are ANA members who share flyers and help you let people know that you are running for this position, now is the time to get your hustle on. Okay? Voting is open from July 31st through August 14th. Members will review the candidate information that's shared through this video and whatever flyers that you make, and then submit one ballot before the voting deadline. This is not Love Island. One ballot before the voting deadline. And then candidates will receive the election results by email after voting closes. So wait on that. The nominating committee will be working on that and getting that information to you ASAP. ANA Illinois will announce official results to the membership after candidates have been notified. And then elected candidates will receive information about orientation, meeting dates, and the start of their terms. The one thing about volunteering to be an elected candidate is that you're fully supported by leadership in ANA Illinois. We're not just going to leave you to figure things out. Information will be provided so that you can block your calendars and make the appropriate allocations for the role that you're taking on. And I have to throw in there that I am inordinately proud of everybody who has submitted a consent to serve. I am so proud of you for stepping forward into these roles and wanting to serve ANA Illinois and the communities that you work in as well. So thank you so much. In closing, the ANA Illinois members that are listening, please participate in the election. Elections are important. I'm sure you know that. And that includes this election as well. Any member who does not receive a ballot should please contact the ANA Illinois office directly for assistance. They'll be able to send you another ballot ASAP. Again, thank you so much to every single one of you for your willingness to serve. Thank you so much to our members for being the nurses and showing up as your best selves in your community. Thank you for participating and helping shape the future of ANA Illinois. You're so appreciated. If anybody has any questions, now will be the time. I may not have the answer, but I will try.
Dr.